and should be afternoon in Australia, right? Yeah, thank you all of you coming. I know some of you are having a busy Sunday, but this is a special arrangement. I have collaboration with Kanji. This is the second of the series. Because of timing, so I'm trying to like late morning and then early afternoon so that Kanji can do his other work in Australia time. So he specializes in many things, especially AI automation. He has been training, if you look at his LinkedIn profile, he trained like 1,000 business entities. So amazing guy. I met him about 6 months ago, maybe longer than that, slightly longer than that. So we wanted to collaborate, but finally we got to our first collaboration in this. So most of you know me, I focus more on the Google ecosystem, and for Claude-wise, I'm going to collaborate with him, and he's a specialist in Claude. So I will sort of pass the mic to him so they can introduce, and then we have more rapport, maybe have a slow start when the rest come in. Okay? Yeah, the stage is yours, Kanji.
Yep, thank you so much, BK. Hi everyone, thanks for joining today. I know a lot of you have taken some of your time out to just learn, and I think I mentioned it last time in the series. It's really amazing to see that AI is moving so quickly, and that you'd spend that time to learn skill sets as well as what's necessary, especially with what you've got in your day-to-day life and in your business or even in your career as well. So firstly, I just want to appreciate everyone for being here. And one thing I really love to share in regards to Claude especially is that there's so many tools out there. Yeah, so there's like Claude, there's ChatGPT, there's maybe you're building your own AI system as well, and you're using like your local AI or a local LLM. So a lot of these things really depend primarily on what it is that you want to achieve and what problem you want to solve personally. So if you aren't that familiar with Claude, I'm just going to dumb down everything today in regards to automation, in regards to creating a lead system for yourself as well as content, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll just go to the first desktop. And all right, there we go. You guys see my screen? Yeah, just thumbs up or put emoji if you can see my screen. So just a bit about background about myself. Oh, yep, cool, thank you. Just background about myself. So I'm the founder CEO of Synapse AI. What we primarily do is that we help businesses automate their current operating processes. I work primarily with professional services firms, lawyers, accountants, finance brokers. I work with a lot of businesses that want to create software or platforms within their business. And what we've found, over the tenure of building these platforms is that you're paying a lot of money to subscription costs. And with the rate of where AI is going, you're spending tokens, spending cost on subscriptions for other platforms that have AI. A lot of the time, that cost will rack up. So having something that is your own or custom made is very important, because you know how your business works. You know what your clients want. You pretty much understand how the revenue comes into your business, how the leads come into your business, how the marketing comes into your business. And I have this very strong principle, and it's that marketing is pretty much your sales engine, because you can do 90% of your marketing or 80% of your marketing, and all you need to do at the end of that 20 or 10% is just present the offer, and the person will either say, yes, I want the offer, or no, I don't want the offer. And when someone says they know, it doesn't mean that it's personal. It doesn't mean that you get deterred from it. It just means not yet. And what I mean by not yet is that that person might need to know more about your business. There's a bit of a trust factor there. Maybe the marketing doesn't have a bit of flair when it comes to building that trust or authority. And that's why you need to go back to your marketing and understand what your brand is, et cetera, et cetera. AI makes it really easy for you, especially with Claude. You can just put in everything in regards to your brand guidelines, et cetera, and you'll get that in Claude now. So that's what I pretty much do. I also speak and do a bit of training as well. So we've got a few gigs in Asia towards the later part of this year, just really helping businesses understand as well as implement better so they can achieve the goals they want, whether it's financial or whether it's operational. Okay, of getting consistent high ticket clients. I come from a world where I used to be a high ticket coach. And what happens is that expertise, when you're sharing through either lead magnets or through, webinars, like the old school webinars, like the old school funnel would be you'd have a webinar. In that webinar, it's probably like an hour or 20 minutes. And then at the end of it, you have a call to action. And in that call to action, you've basically tell them what the problem is, where they are right now, and what the ideal scenario look like. And then from that ideal scenario, then you would be, hey, here's the product. That's the old way. The old way is using webinars. The old way is using, a different type of funnel. It's a very long process to get high ticket clients, or even, getting on a call and, saying, hey, this is, basically jumping and having a 30 minutes or an hour phone call with people just to get high ticket clients. There was one incident, and I'll share this because it will lead to the new modern way of working, is I had a client that was working with me, like, on, helping him with his business for a whole year. And then I had an upsell offer. That upsell offer wasn't cheap. It was pretty much in the 5-figure range. And all I did was just send him a 1-minute voice message on basically everything that we've worked on and condensed everything that we've done previously. And he said yes to it. So when that happened to me, that blew my mind because I'd always been taught that I had to work hard to bring people in. We had to go through this long process of, webinar or, long process of jumping on a phone call just to get over the line. And I was thinking, I built that trust with that client. And it's been obviously a year, right? But what if I just started focusing on building trust with people that I don't know? Just 100% going in on the content, on the marketing, on building that trust factor. And from there, I just realized like I've been doing it wrong the whole time I've been in business. I've always thought that it has to be the long way, the old way, things being very traditional because I've been brought up that way. Like I was brought up through consultative selling, which is pretty much in the technology space where you have to kind of deal with larger contracts, like $1 million contracts and that kind of thing just to get it over the line. But if you've already built that trust, all you need to ask is, do you want this or not? And if it's no, it just means that you haven't built that trust yet. So that literally blew my mind. This was about like what years ago actually. But from there, I just realized like it doesn't have to be that way. So that's what happens. Like expertise never converted into high ticket sales because it's all about trust, right? Content creation, like you probably know this, it's like, oh, you got to post like 15 times, 20 times. I realized like if you want to grow viral, you can get to that stage where you're posting 20 or 30 times a day. I remember to get to the point where I was with Facebook, I was posting about like 20 times at one point. And I just realized like I don't actually need to. But with AI, it's much easier now. Like content creation is like really easy now. But like before I'd have to draft a script or I had to create like what is this, what I want to write about Claude about like the new skills that have come out. It'll take me ages. I have to spend like 30, 40 minutes just to write down, maybe a text thread. Nowadays it's just so quick, right? I see subscriptions, for example, if you've built an app just for yourself, really. Like maybe it's a time tracker app, maybe it's a revenue app, something that helps with the business. Like they constantly break. That's one way that, you probably get people through. Maybe it's a form that you built, like maybe through GoHighLevel or through Jotform, for example. Like they would always break, it never connects to things. You've got tech anxiety, which is, pretty much, oh, like everything's moving so fast, but how do I keep up with that? And then you've got that on top of your business is like, oh, like where do I get clients? Like, how do I do this? How do I service or deliver to my current clients? So there's all this anxiety that like stacks up. Then also the last one is like manual lead chasing is like, calling people up manually, not having a scalable system. It's you there, you're spending your time, you're spending your effort. So that's the old way, right? The old way, pretty much that's how you've been doing it. With AI, obviously, there's an easier way now. When I say easy, it's easy for AI. It still requires you to do the brainstorming, do the architecture, yeah? So the modern way is that now we can use a Claude workspace and then have that as your main dashboard and then put everything out. That's what I mean by outward facing. You've got marketing, you've got sales, got follow up. All of that now can be done on a Claude workspace, right? The second point is your IP. So like, for example, if you've built your brand guidelines and your brand portfolio on Claude, you can now create content with just a prompt now or with a skill. It's very easy, right? Or you can get it to do a schedule and it posts for you on a regular basis without you being there. I've got it to help me build landing pages and landing pages for clients, platforms for clients now. So now with Claude, you don't actually need third-party software, right? So a lot of the trend now is that a lot of companies are building things in-house now. And then lead magnets, right? Like lead magnets, you'd probably spend hours on like Canva just trying to make it look nice or getting brand consistency, sending it off to people. Hey, here's the, someone's comment, no lead. And then you're like, oh, like here's the lead thing. It's now easy, right? With Claude or even with Codex. And that leads to the last bit, right? Which is, having a B2B or business to business attraction engine, which now runs on autopilot. So that's the shift now. I spent a little bit of time here. I just wanted to give you the idea of where things are at the moment, because it's not the old traditional way of doing things anymore. Now, whatever you have, AI can amplify that and make it faster, right? But it doesn't mean it's easy. Nothing is easy. It's easy for AI, but it's not easy for you. Okay, so we'll just cover these today. We'll cover the content engine. We'll watch an actual build. So I'll build that with you in Claude. I'm going to be using the Claude desktop to just help you build different angles. Lead magnets. So the way that I bring in clients or bring in leads is probably see it on LinkedIn or Facebook a lot, is like people just commenting, hey, I want this lead, I want this lead thing, I want the lead thing. But the creation of that is very easy now. So what you can do and what I'll share is I can do that specifically for how you want people to come into your ecosystem. And the next part would be the gate as well. So like, just gating whether or not people are just wanting the free stuff or wanting to actually like learn more what you do. And then we'll do a bit of a Q&A at the end. So again, for those that are here, you're probably a consultant, a coach, professional service provider, you're an agency owner, maybe, or you're a lean operator. What I found with all these different ICPs is that you are very much a high performer, and you know that when you work with people, you kind of have a bit of an expectation, right? That expectation is you want others to do just as well as you. And that's what Claude and AI is really good at, is that it can match your intelligence or match the level of output now. Creating pretty much a second version of you, or what kind of the style that you want, because it actually knows it. And then once you get it right, because it still requires the initial tinkering or the initial like setup, once you get that correct, then it just becomes easy. So that's what this is all about. So if you have a look here, so these are my Facebook metrics. So at the moment, I'm doing about maybe 5 million views. The reason why is with Facebook, I've got a bit of a restriction on my recommendations. But it's funny because the past 2 weeks I was on 2 million views. And even with this restriction, it's kind of like having just one hand doing things, right? I'm only just using one hand. I've realized like there's a bit of a strategy towards getting views and getting people to comment on things. So I'll give you an example. So obviously before this restriction, these are my numbers. I've been getting about like 10 to 20. I've been got to about 30 million. So all up about 150 million views in the last year. And that's because one, I post consistently, and two, the algorithm actually helps as well. So one thing that really helps with the algorithm is having platform native content. So what that means is like Facebook content is Facebook content, LinkedIn content is LinkedIn content, Twitter content is Twitter content, YouTube content is YouTube content. So having the content that's specific to each platform will allow you to scale that platform. And Claude's really good at differentiating what works for different things. And if you have something that helps you post as well, you can either do it manually or you can get it to post on your behalf. For example, if you're doing it on Facebook profile, I'd suggest just doing it manually. The reason why is because Facebook's very sensitive when it comes to automation. So when it comes to, posting, I would prefer to manually post on Facebook, but the content's there already. All you need to do is just like copy and paste the content that Claude has already given you based on your brand to post it. if it's like LinkedIn, for example, you get LinkedIn to post it. For those that were in the last session, I did show a bit of a demo of the LinkedIn profile or the LinkedIn post that I was posting. So again, like things are very specific based on what platform you're posting. It's very important to know that, because if you're posting LinkedIn content on Instagram, for example, you're not going to get the same output and you're just going to get crickets, right? Second one, it's got to be attention grabbing. So first things first is the hook. So you can even work with Claude to research the viral content pieces and what hooks they're using. So I'll show you that in a bit too. Relevance, like if you are an AI strategist, for example, you'd be posting AI content for your AI audience. If you're a business or wealth strategist, for example, you post about wealth. So it has to be relevant. There's no point you posting gym content if you're doing AI content. And it actually hurts your brain. I'm known for myself when I was, doing the old way in the high ticket space. I was posting a lot of gym or, about Kanji is the brand, you should invest in Kanji because Kanji is the vessel to help you. And that we've got, framework or, a system that will help you get to your goals. It kind of doesn't work that way anymore. So you got to be relevant to your audience and you got to be relevant to what it is that you're doing. And every piece of content has to have a actionable piece of content. So for example, you see it a lot: comments, leads, comment flow, comments, comment this or follow for this or click this link here. Click the link works on the LinkedIn side. Commenting and follow works better on IG, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So I found YouTube's work too. So I'll give you an example. So I've been playing around with this new profile. It's got about 1,500. And that's because of my restriction on my current page, main page. And why I do this is because one, I want to test that I can actually do it again. And I know I can do it again. I know I can get this page viral. And there are signs that it's being viral again. And that's the first thing. I want to prove it to myself, right? I want to prove it to myself, not for anyone else, that I can actually do it again and it's working. The second thing and reason why I created this is because I know with only working with one hand, now that I have a new page, I have another two hands that are working. But the difference between the two is my main page is a profile on Facebook, and the page that I've created here, this is actually a Facebook page. So with a Facebook page, there's a little bit more lenience in what Facebook actually gives you. So understanding the platform itself, like you can make things better. So what I've, over the last 30 days building this page, actually, I've realized that with Facebook pages, everyone loves resources. They love the lead magnets. They love the, comment this. They love that kind of post. I don't know why they love it more there and then here than my main page. My main page, it seems as though the audience wants more of the info and the free stuff. And then this page is more of the lead magnets and pretty much what they want to learn from AI. So specifically AI. So it's very interesting. So I would say if you are doing something on Facebook, like have a page and grow that page and then cross promote. So I've been doing a lot of cross promotion between this one and my main page, because this one's got about like 166K followers and this one's got 1.5. This one grew obviously with some of this reach, but it's mainly the content itself. So like if you have a look here, it's basically just, this is kind of like my brand, template is I've got like a header, a hook, add these 8 Claude skills for free and never do boring work again, right? That's a hook, right? And then each resource would have, I've gotten Claude to give me these links, and then these links, I can go and research the link for you. Then it gives you a bit of an explanation. And then from that explanation, then you go one by one, right? So once you do that, then you have a thread post. These thread posts on Facebook do really well. They don't do that well on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, what you can do is you'd have all the links on that post, and then you have your main picture post, which is this one. And I'll share some examples. So if I just share this one here. So, okay, see my screen? Yeah. So if I just go down, you probably see like a whole bunch of people, right? So let's take Paul Storm, for example. Right. So you can get Claude to look into these formats. So like for example, you can just like, copy the link to the post. Like most people are using Claude maybe 20% of its potential, like it's a hook, right? That's your hook. Then it's actually got like a bit of a teaser of what the steps are. And then you see here, thousand likes, right? And then it's just a post here, and then you've got a link here, and then follow for more. So you see that when you see the pattern, you see that a lot of the time. So I'm actually going to save this because the reason why I like saving my posts. I do have a tool for this too. It's called TrendBoss. So like for example, if I go into here and go into Paul, so it's got Paul coming up, and then based on Paul, it's got 600K followers, captured 10 posts already. So I'm just going to capture all of them, and then I'm going to add to TrendBoss. If I open up on TrendBoss, for example, and I built this through Claude, by the way. I built this app. So now if I go to profiles, okay, I've got Paul Storm here. So it's just waiting counts now, right? So if I go back to here, where's the post? It says captured 10. Okay, I've got update account. Okay, should update now. So, okay, it's got 10. So you see here, it's got like 10, right? So it's got like, if you have a look here, it's got the post. Right. So then all the metrics are being calculated at the moment. So pretty much it's just grabbing all the latest trends. But yeah, so like I built a tool for myself to do this. But if I go back to that post, you can see how like there's a very interesting structure to it. So that's the research part, right? So we get Claude to research. Okay, let me share my slides back again. Okay, so coming back here, so we'll now create the content engine. So content engine, again, like you have one post and then you post it to 5 different places, right? So you create a Facebook post or what you want for the Facebook idea, and then based on that, then you can then get it for the same structure for LinkedIn. You can then get the same structure for short videos. So you can get it to give you a transcript, and then you can set up a skill to edit that video. And then you can post that to TikTok, IG, Reels, Shorts for YouTube. And then based on that script as well, you can then create a long YouTube video. Right. So nowadays you can actually do this in a one for Facebook. You have to do one for LinkedIn. You'd have to do one on Shorts. You have to do one for TikTok. So they're all like different now. So based on that, it's all in one go now. So that 8 hours of work each week, now that you can just focus on creating content and filming that content rather than you just brainstorming all the time, right? So what I would say would be allocating this amount of time. But you probably don't need really 90 minutes, but that's what it used to take, right? To write the post, it will take 90 minutes. Monday, seeing what works, you'll take like 75 minutes or even like 2 hours to write what those ideas are and brainstorm. Filming would take like 2 hours filming, right? 60 minutes would be like you writing captions. Then answering every comment would be like 30 now. So that's what the old way will look like. But nowadays is very easy, right? So if I go to here, so what we'll do is we'll pick one thing, right? We'll do exactly that with kind of like the same structure of what I've shared. So we'll create a skill that will create the kind of like the layout and the idea of the research. We'll then write the Facebook post. We'll then turn that to a LinkedIn. We'll then get a script and then we'll line it up for the week, right? So let me stop sharing this. Let me share this one now. Where is the Claude instance? Okay, here we go. All right, see my Claude desktop? Sweet. So those that are familiar with this, yeah, like I would do this in Claude Code. So how you set it up is you'd go local or cloud, right? And then based on that, you'd have a folder. So I would have a marketing agent folder already. So this marketing agent has certain skills that I put in based on that too. So let's say so if you want to create a skill, there's a thing called the skill creator. There should be a skill creator here somewhere. And create a skill. All right, maybe so you go to so maybe we'll just create it from scratch. Create me a skill, create a skill. All right, so right now you're getting it to create a skill. So while it's doing that, it's going to writing skills. And I think I shared in the last masterclass that you can actually go and create your own skills, or you can go to a GitHub repository to create the skills. Like you can go to like just search on like Google, like what are the best skills for Claude, and then it'll just give you a rundown on what skills are, the official skills. Make sure that the star rating is very high, because a lot of the time, if it's not high, you might get someone doing a prompt injection inside the actual skill, and they might take some personal data from you, which you don't want, and it will be a disaster if it happens. So once this, obviously we'll let it, create the skill. It's creating the skill creator. So first things first, you have to create the skill creator, or you get a skill creator skill from GitHub. Once you've done that, then you can start creating skills. So the skill that we want to make is, can you make a skill that helps me research the top performing Facebook post in the AI category? So from memory, doesn't matter about spelling mistakes. Can you reference post from Kanji Low, from Austin Armstrong, from Sabrina Romanoff, Awa, K Pin, goes digital, simply digital. So these are the AI creators that I know, and any other AI creators worth researching and have at least a 10x outlier in their Facebook content. So right now it's creating the skill. So starting up Claude Code. So the skill creator is done. Yep. So we have a skill creator, make skill, build make skill. What it does, interviews you for a workflow. It's got 56 skills you already have. And then based on that, then you can use it. Okay. Here. So it's creating a skill for me at the moment. And then what you can do is, so it will go and research this at the moment. Yep. So it's searching Austin's Facebook page. There you can see. So obviously with this, you have to do the setup first. So like you got to like spend time to set up the actual skill so that it then can automate later. But let's say it takes about like 30 minutes for you to set it up. That 30 minutes is going to save you hours of time, whereas before you'd have, just doing it manually. So if I just do this and then I'll go here and then actually I'll just share both the screen so you see what's doing side by side. I go to desktop 3. Okay, if you see that, you can see how on here it's going on the right to each page. So first step, create a folder. Second step is make sure you install the create skill or you create your own create skill one. Once you've done that, then you start brainstorming what that skill will be. So the first skill I want to create is a research skill, so I can research the top performing Facebook posts. And then the skill that comes from that would be the content creation part. So I want to then create a skill that does that as well. Yeah, we'll just leave our questions to the end, if that's okay. Yeah, so it will ask you, do you want a swipe down, tear down one? Do you want ranked data only or just reported drafted hooks? So let's just go with this one. Yep. Can you also just adapt for everyday AI users, not signups? Yep, baseline. Okay. So I'll ask you for some permissions. So once it's going through, so it's reading the skill template. Yeah. So I actually do have a Twitter thread rule already. Let's just going through that. It's gone through hours. Has it gone through? Yeah, so let's just let that sync up. Okay, so it's going back to the Claude and yeah, and also make sure if you haven't yet, like install the Claude Code extension. So it's just going through hours post, right? You can see how it's going through hours. So basically what we want to do is find the top performing post from each post. And then from there, we can then create something based on our own voice. We don't want to obviously copy or steal their content. It's just more so like the format that people have, there's a specific pattern and format to it. So there's always the hook, but like the formats as well is very important. You see Austin dancing there. Yeah, so it's just going through all the video content. Yeah. Okay, verify second page now is going to Sabrina's. So if it goes to Sabrina. So it's just doing like while the one thing I also would highly advise is if AI is doing something in the background on one screen or in the background on your laptop, for example, just make sure you're doing something else. Otherwise, it's kind of like you're just like waiting for the update, seeing how it's going, waiting for the update, seeing how it's going. You can do something else while you're here. So for example, like if that's running, probably like, I don't know, I'll just be like, help me create a LinkedIn post format similar to, and then we'll just grab this post that was viral. Let's go copy. All right, and then we'll just let that run so we can create similar formats for our own brand and topic. It's AI for business. Okay, so it's gonna do that as well. Actually, make me a skill so that I can just schedule the skill to run on a daily basis. Yep, so you see how like I'm doing work here, but then it's still running in the background now. Does that make skill cool? So that's the skill that we made. Just using that now. I'm just going through here. Okay. And then at the moment it's going through Kanjis. It's also going through Simply Digitals now. Now it's writing a report script. Okay. So while I was doing that, you can like, I'll just like run a few tasks. Yeah. So like you can run like 10 tasks if you really want. Depends on your capacity. Like if you're a person who's like, oh, like I know what I'm doing, then you do boom, boom, boom. Okay, so run research each time. Yeah. Draft to file and notify. Okay. I always do whatever's recommended. So it's still researching. Yeah, it's building report now. And then all it really is just being consistent, right? To get to a stage where you're building followers and you have an audience, it's all about consistency. So if you're not that consistent, AI can bridge the gap to help you be consistent, but you need to be able to architect that from the top level, because what will happen is like, oh, you might do it to a certain point. Again, it really depends on you as an individual. If you get to a certain point and it's kind of like, well, there's the missing gap, you might go be distracted by something else, right? Or there's another tool that comes, oh, it makes my life easier. So it really depends on you as a person, like how dedicated are you to make this work and just focus on it, right? So it's focus and commitment and consistency. Yeah, those are the three attributes that really help you get that consistency going. So in regards to content, right? Like it can create that content for you consistently now. All right, so it's got Facebook outliers. All right, sweet. So it's got 54 reels. All right, yep. Show your answer. Got a script now. Okay. All right, amazing. So if we go, yeah, so it's doing real tests. So if I go Facebook outliers, oh yes, that's the one. You got it correct. Can you help me create 5 content pieces for Facebook? So what it will just go in sequential order, right? So like if you press this, then it go to the next one, then you'll wait. So it's doing the run first. Okay, it's told me, okay, let me finish the run. All right, I'll let you finish the research run. Yeah, so what's it doing? It's going back to our. Yeah, did you see how you see the token count too? It's always good to notice your token count. Yeah. And then what about the LinkedIn skill? Let's have a look at LinkedIn skill. Yeah, so that's still going. Yeah. So that's SMB stack. Okay, nothing produced. Listicle list for Kanji 2. This is general made. Yep. Search web. Okay, so it's going through what's viral. Okay, so we'll let that load. I just want to continue because I'm just conscious of time here. So pretty much what I've got it to do is to research a whole bunch of people. It's going to then give me a list of content pieces based on what I've asked it that will pretty much I just need to be consistent on, and then I can post that. And then from there, I also will get a LinkedIn format that is similar to the post that I shared. And then based on that, then we'll have something very similar. Okay. We'll let that run. I'll just keep going. So if I just share my other screen and we go to, okay. All right. So my computer has lagged a bit. Okay, now. All right, move back here. Hey, why is it not letting me click? All right. No, we're at the end of the slides. Is that very fun? What's going on? Sorry, I've got like a few things. I'll just close a few things. Just get out of here first. Sorry, let me just close a few things. Just that's the issue about running like multiple flows is like it just jams your computer. And I was doing a whole bunch of development work before here, so let me just close all these first. Free up some capacity. Should be working now. Go back to go back. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, still like running. Okay. So I will share just a bit of a flow with lead magnets. So one things. So the best way to get like really good lead magnets is understanding the flow of the leads, right? So first things first, right? Like having a system where, you know, whether it's through GoHighLevel or whether it's through form, is getting the emails from the person who requests the actual document or request the actual lead magnet, because when it's free, like it's actually not free. If you really look at anything, like you go to a store or anything like that, like nothing's really free. It's like everything, they require your data, they require your email, they require this. So if, let's say, I don't know if you have this in Singapore, but like if you go and you might get some free stuff for your birthday, they don't actually give you it for free. Like they ask you to fill out a form, they ask you to fill out your details before you actually get the actual product. So I have a juice bar here in Melbourne called Boost Juice. And pretty much like if you want to go for a birthday like free drink, you actually have to put in your details or sign up to their app before you get the free drink. So you got to treat the business similar to that. If someone wants something for free, you got to actually get them to a point of, they got to do something for it. Otherwise, what will happen is you get people that are not responsive in your communities. They're not responsive on your social media posts. You get people who are just freeloaders and just want free stuff all the time. So with a high performing lead magnet, is you want someone that basically you're bringing them through that system. Well, first things first, right? Like we'll create a swipe file. So you can create that through Claude. So from Claude, you can, pretty much create like a whole dashboard through like LinkedIn, through Notion, or through like your own website. And then in that, you can have like templates and checklists. You can also create like questionnaires, for example. In that questionnaire, you can ask them, for feedback or whatever, or you can create like a calculator, right? And in that calculator, it then runs, whatever figures you want, etc. So if I just go from here and just share the screen, just stop sharing this one. Okay. Where's the other one? Like desktop 3, desktop 2. So go back to here. All right, so from here, see how it's got like all the details. All right. Can you give me the Facebook post thread? Also build me a lead magnet for my thread. It's just running it. So I've actually just created something in-house. So like what I've done is I've asked Claude to give me a prompt so that I can create a prompt library. In that prompt library, we can then use that to help you with lead magnets. So I want to integrate that with GoHighLevel, for example. So it's just giving me a whole bunch of, it's giving me a whole bunch of data that I can use. So what I'll need to do is I'll just copy this whole thing. And then I'll go to, yeah, this is just a normal one. So just go, can you build me the exact lead magnet prompt library so I can direct my traffic to this library? So we'll let that load. And then this one's still going. This one's got a post already. All right, can you give me the draft post? Yep, so it's giving me based on my audience, right? So like most firms, yeah, so if you have a look at format here, where was it? Here we go. Yeah, most people are, etc. Most people are running AI, what it's worth to them. Problem isn't adoption. So it's got like the same structure, right? So I don't want to make it too obvious. Can you make it 8 points or rules instead of 7? Also, can you make sure it's tied to me, Kanji Low? And then you go, what is the feature I can use? So you have to tweak it, right? So it can get the same output, right? So if you get like certain examples, you can get the same output tailored to your audience. And then once you do that, then I reckon just keep tweaking it. Once you get it right, then you can start automating it. For example, if I go to here, review, so if I find it's pretty slow, huh? Yeah. So I've just been playing around with To be honest, I actually like just am just playing around with formats. Like for this one, for example. So pretty much I got Claude to do this for me, yeah. So I got it to say this. I got this with the link. I've got this to create the image, and then obviously like I'm just been playing around with it. So this one hasn't been doing well. So like if I did something like skills kanji. So there's been a few like viral ones that have happened. You just post it, and once it does do well, you just keep replicating what does well. So we'll call it skill kanji. Should come up with a not this one. Well, there's one that was like really it did really well. I can't remember. Skills LinkedIn. Skills LinkedIn. Skills LinkedIn kanji. Yeah, I can't find it. But you can get like templates that work well. So if I go show all, so for example, got Claude to make this one for me. We made this one. Hey guys, this is who's this handsome guy. If you go down to not that, keep going. As I put sticks, that was done through Claude. So I'm playing around with formats. I go down to 10 more, a lot more. Yeah, let's come out. What is this? Okay. Oh yeah, like this one, for example. Like get it to upload. Not that one. This one. You see how like you can get it to like create the infographics like this? It's just like, yeah, so I can get it to create the infographic. So basically the money's going into the Claude Scott. But then like if you go here, you can, yeah. And then you get like for example, if you go like comment this, you get a whole bunch of leads. And then based on that, you can use Claude to comment through the Chrome connector to comment for you. Just hey, can you look at this post and find out who's commented the word Claude, and can you respond to them? So there's that. Okay, so I've got a PDF here. All right, let's have a look. Oh, great. So it's created a PDF for me. Yeah, so you see that? So I've got a lead magnet, which I can do for 30 ChatGPT shortcuts. Great. This is amazing. Then the thread is you haven't been fully. So what I would do is I would get Claude to post, like, for example, this would be like a LinkedIn one. So post the whole thing on LinkedIn, right? And then like with Facebook, you can just get it to like, you can program Claude to be posting the hook as the main poster thing or with a picture. And then each one would just be a comment. It'd be comment, 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 comment. So this would be a comment, this would be a comment, this would be a comment, this would be a comment. And then at the end, you say follow for, yeah, follow and comment. So you get the resource. So yeah, pretty much like it's gotten like a really trending reel or trending topic, which is the ChatGPT codes or ChatGPT shortcuts. And then it's created a post based on that. So you can now you've built this chat, you can get it. And just remember, if you have Claude on your laptop or your desktop, for example, you need to have your device on, otherwise it won't work. So yeah, I'll just then, once someone puts this in, then you create an automation saying, hey, you've commented actually here's the resource, right? And then you just make that automation. In the lead magnets itself, like always have a next step or a call to action in the lead magnet. So like in the lead magnet, you'd have something like, join this community or join this email list, or you'd have something which will get people to come into a communal group. And in that communal group, then it's easier to then sell your offers or, promote or keep marketing because everyone's really bought in, right? That's how you transfer a free or cold person to someone who's actually really interested in what you do, is through the initial action point. So like, to get someone from free to actually wanting to know what you do is the email plus their buy-in to get the resource, right? If you want someone that is, knows who you are, to get someone to buy something from you, something very small, have an offer that is small, but that small thing has a big stack of value. And then once you have that and someone's bought in small and you have like a higher ticket offer, then you might, get them because they trust you a little bit more. It's just asking them the question, hey, do you want this or not? Right? Through a call or through implementation or just understanding the needs. So yeah, that's pretty much the demo of this. So what I would do from here is then I will then go to get Claude and then just like plug into GoHighLevel, for example. So I did like an open Claude thing where it's still live actually. If people go to, so if I go here, if they go to open Claude, for example, they can just click here. And then from here, then they can type in their first name and last name to get the playbook. And then once they get the playbook, then it'll come into GoHighLevel. So you can program stuff like that now, which is basically just bringing your idea into AI now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have a few more slides, but I think that pretty much covers everything. Yeah, where is it? Where's everyone? Stop sharing. All right, there you are. There's everyone. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm open to questions. Anyone have a question?
Yeah, maybe I can start off with some question, then the rest can chime in. So basically three questions. First one.
Yep.
So using cloud doesn't mean that you need your laptop to be on all the time when you do all the automation.
Correct. Yep. Unless so if you've opened or created a folder in local, then yes. If you've created a folder in cloud, you don't have to. So cloud would be obviously you can run in the background.
So schedule tasks.
Yep.
What
Yep.
about the demonstration that you did, the
Yep.
chat with LinkedIn comment? Can you do it
Yep.
offline?
If you run it through the cloud, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
is it
if you
going to be,
created a cloud folder,
yeah,
then
but
you
is it going to
can.
be supervised? You know what I mean? Let's say they're responding to a comment.
Yeah. So yeah, with the supervision of that, you would have to program its own supervision. So now, like you probably even know that people don't really prompt anymore. It's more about loops. With loops, you have to have a goal, and then that goal you get Claude to go through that goal and just keep looping it. So it'll review its own thing and then loop and then post it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the next question is, from your experience, you mentioned about lead magnet. How
Yep.
many steps you think from a lead magnet, say, trigger to conversion? How many touch point or steps?
So like for me, from my own experience, it's been about like maybe 4 or 5 touch points. But I know from average, it's about like 7 touch points. I think the Google standard is like it's a standard. It's not really something you should follow. But it's about like 7 touch points and like I think 4 interactions or something like that. It's 21. So if you have a look on the Google one, it's about like 21. It's called the 21 like touch points or from marketing to sales. But again, it really depends. Like if you've got like a business that is on high demand, like for example, someone wants to buy a house, yeah. Mortgage brokers are always in demand because they're not going to go out of business unless the banking and finance industry collapses. Yeah. Or people don't have money to spend to buy houses. But people need financing because it helps them get a better quality of life. And, obviously really depends on how you deal with debt. But it helps you there. For like coaching and knowledge and that kind of stuff, like that's always going to be around because people want to learn, they want to get better, they want the skill sets. So again, depending on the demand of your market, you just have to make sure your offer is one that's, irresistible.
Okay, so seven touch point based on your experience.
Yeah.
When somebody create a lead magnet for the first time,
Yep.
they probably will not perfect it. So that means
Yes.
that it could be more touch point than 7. like what you just said.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I remember when I made my first lead magnet, yeah, it took ages, but I didn't have an audience. So then I realized like main thing is building the audience first, and then the lead magnets become easier.
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
then, I mean, before your lead magnet actually workable, you need at least a community or following, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't really need, let's say if you're just starting out, like you don't really need that many. Like you can still, if you've got like 50 people that are really loving your stuff, like you can maximize with that 50 people. But then just know that you do need to go out and start building more of an audience and a community. And then the lead net magnets become much easier. You don't want to become, that person that's like creating fake interactions or traffic. I've been that person, so you don't want to be that because then that hurts you in the long term.
Okay. Second last question. Now,
Yep.
all this lead magnet that you mentioned or
Mm.
generated, say for a
Yep.
newbie trying to,
Yep.
to practice this, any
Mm.
cost involved, you think can they do a lead magnet for free and then
Yeah,
convert,
yeah,
or they need to invest?
100%. Yeah. So I like if you don't want to spend any money, or don't want to use Claude to do it, or even if you did want to use Claude to do it, like best way to do it is getting a Google form and then a Google document.
Okay. That's the
That's no
free,
cost.
that's the
Yeah,
free
that's the
one. Yeah.
free version of it. Yeah. The only problem with a Google form and a Google document, I still do it today actually, is that you have to create that specific lead magnet at a specific time for that specific piece of
Yeah.
content.
And then they'll be
So it's not
gone.
scalable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not scalable. So you probably will need to think about a way where you have a resource hub, or I don't know, like for you, BK, you've got like a school community, like everything has to be in that school community, so that people come to that school community and then they start using and start interacting. Yeah. So there has to be a pond, right? A community pond, and then that pond, like then you can start like throwing a net or fishing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So last question. So, I mean, of course, relating to cost, you mentioned a lot about connecting Claude
Mm,
to GoHighLevel.
yep.
So it means that there will be a subscription on GoHighLevel. What is the
100%.
minimum cost to get this started?
Yep. Yep. So I would suggest for anyone that is, connecting any tool, like you have to be using it a lot for you to be leveraging it. I use Go High Level a lot, like for me. So that's why I use it. So for you, it might not be suitable for you because maybe you're using, I don't know, like HubSpot or some other CRM or maybe your own CRM. So the cost for Go High Level is 97 USD, right, per month. So again, it really depends on what features you need, how it works for your business, and what is relevant for you. And yeah, like I would say, like for me it works, but like for you it might not work because it
Okay.
might be a different thing.
So say somebody new to GoHighLevel, they
Yep.
subscribe, how long they can sort of hands-on and
Yep. So you get a 14-day trial. And in that 14-day as well, you get to test it out. You can create multiple accounts. Like you don't actually need to, invest in the system until you actually have a system for yourself. One thing I will suggest is asking Claude, going to play around with Go
ah,
High Level. Yeah.
that's
So that
amazing.
way you don't, yeah. So you don't actually spend that extra
Yeah, we
time like
didn't
trying
have
to figure it
that
out.
like
Yeah.
6 months ago, you got to start everything,
Yeah.
and that is very different. So, you mind sharing a link to the chat, and then those who interested
Yep.
can click on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they get what,
100%.
14 days trial.
Yeah, 14 days. Yeah. So you'll
So,
get
so
14 days.
okay, I've been toying about the idea across my community.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't really push very hard on GoHighLevel because I think it's not
Uh,
easy for them, and then they pay and then they don't get what they want. But now
yeah.
with Claude and other AI, they can actually help navigate and set up. So say
Yes.
if given them, say, I mean, they just set aside, say, 3 months of investment with that
Yep.
14 days, you think that they can
Mm.
get some results?
Oh yeah, of course. Like if the reason why I say that you will, here's a link, is because you've paid for it or you've invested in it. And when you pay attention. When when it's free, right? You're not doing anything with it. But like you have to have a end goal of what you want to do with that software. So when it comes to software or understanding what AI you want to use, always understand what you want to solve with that for yourself first. Like make sure that's very clear. And then once it's very clear for you, then you start investing. There's no point in you going for a software and you don't really know you don't have the clarity. It's like kind of, you're driving, but you're driving in fog, right? It's the same thing. Like you want to drive, you want to be able to be sure you want to drive somewhere and it's like a very clear day. Even if it's fog, like make sure you've got the headlights on, right? So pretty much with like Claude and all the AI that's out there is helping you with those fog lights and understand where your direction is and the GPS, and then you can start making a move.
So, okay, I know how long you've been using Go High Level and
About 2 years now, 2.5 years.
So when you first started, how
Yeah.
long did it get you to get used to it, to really get
Uh,
some to say get your first
yeah.
conversion?
It. I would say within like three months for me. But obviously for me, like at that time, like it wasn't like AI heavy. Right now there's a lot of AI functionality in there as well. So like again, like just understand like you can play around with the software, but try to understand what you want to achieve from it first, and then dive into it. Like for me, I was just paying because like I know that I can actually make money from it, selling landing pages and that kind of thing, and it really helped a lot of my clients. But now with the AI functionalities, I can help my clients even more now. And that it's got an MCP and you can like tie to Claude and Codex. But again, it really depends on what you want to achieve. If you're clear on about that, then yeah, it's easy for you.
So stacking AI like Claude or even other AI with Go High Level
Yep.
can really speed up the learning process, get
Yep.
your I mean, convince yourself whether
Mm.
that's what you want much
Yes.
faster, right?
Much
Yeah,
faster. Yeah, much faster.
yeah.
And it's all about speed. Like the people that are doing really successful, you probably even know it's all about speed to execution. The idea that you have, like people have probably got the same idea, but how fast can you actually get it running? And AI makes it so quick now.
So it's really a one-man operation kind of thing, right? It's
Pretty
really
much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But you can have a team. But if you have a team, make sure they're also AI enabled as well.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Ken, I give another to the floor, a few more questions if anyone have.
Yep.
Anyone?
I got more any more
Felice or
questions?
Mike, do you have any question? The rest are silence. Yeah. Okay, so I already shared not a lead magnet but a Google form for you guys to
Mm,
sort of fill in so that I get to get some feedback on this
mm,
particular masterclass or sharing, and then we can be connected. Most of you are connected, so except Mike is new. So fill in the
mm.
form and then share if you like further similar class that we had. So Kanji will always focus on Claude, high level kind of a thing. I focus on the others, so
Yep.
we won't have any overlapping too much. But I
Mm,
think I think today, Kanji, to be very frank, the first one, I still cannot find the formula gelling. Now we sort of
ah,
gel a little bit better. I think probably you feel
yes.
the same thing now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. 100%.
yeah,
Yeah. So
but it
it's
takes time.
today's session's less technical. And I feel yeah, it's just understanding that a lot of the time like we just have to show people pretty much what's been built. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So thank you so much. I won't take up too much time. We sort of overrun a little bit, but that's
Mm,
usual. So the recordings are available. If you fill in the Google form, and then we'll email you the recording, and it's AI, and so you can have transcript, etc. So and
yep.
of course, please connect with Kanji anytime on LinkedIn directly. It's
Mhm.
okay. So we have nothing much. Maybe one last word from Kanji.
No, I just want to say thank you again, PK, and thank you for everyone for attending. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn about AI and implement. And just know, like, with everything that's going on at the moment, like things are going real quickly, but that doesn't mean that you're slowing down. You have your own pace. You pretty much are you're probably actually one of the people that are actually doing really well, because who else will spend an hour of their day on a Sunday just to learn, right? So
Yeah.
you're not behind. You're actually well ahead of everyone else. Just understand what is it that you want to do, and AI will amplify that for you. So those are my last words. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we shall end the session here today. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday. Bye bye.
Yeah, nice meeting everyone. All right, thank you.
Bye. Bye
All right,
everyone.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.